Hello and welcome to Nagaland TV. So manulagawas. Aji, amihan yade Dr. Khekugha Muru, Cncci la president tai lora aina se. Ito se kulo aji amihan tai lora ekta duita hudiole mon tagado kali which is tomorrow 16th of September. Ito closure of all business establishments in and around Dimapur as well as all over Nagaland. Ito hisapte amihan aji tai lora ekta duita hudio kuina aishi. Okay, so welcome sir. तो अमियान हुदियो मन जादो government state government do issue ledo tan appeal gurishe ki edo statewide closure of shops edo September 16 ne hole tagado edo na kuri jawi ina koi dishe to what is your final decision on this?
First of all, I want to thank the government of Nagaland. Our representation, which was submitted to Honorable Chief Secretary of Nagaland, was promptly responded with utmost seriousness by the government of Nagaland. The issue was discussed at the Deputy Chief Minister level with Chief Secretary, Home Commissioner, the DGP, and also the presence of in the presence of Advisor Urban Development and the Commissioner Secretary of Urban Department. And we put up 4 points of demands, and we are very grateful to the government that they have tried to address the issues. However, after going through the redressal points that they have sent it to us, there are few issues on 2 points of issues. We are not happy with the outcome, and we have sent back a letter to the government that to re-examine those 2 points. Number 1 is on the issue of taxation. The taxation is not only within Dimapur, but it's a whole Nagaland issue, and therefore we have requested government to re-examine it and then bring out a solution, all Nagaland solution, and not Dimapur specific. So we stand by it. Number 2 is we have been saying that 80% to 70 to 80% of revenues that runs the municipal town councils and ad hoc town councils, the revenues are generated through business community in terms of trade license, sanitation tax, toll tax, passenger auto tax or minibus tax, whatever. So in varied ways they collect taxes or fees from the business community to run the civic bodies. Whereas all those rates fixation are done without the presence of the business community while taking decision. Not only that, but even on rate fixation on items. For example, you have the wholesale price of potato may be around 10 rupees. And what happens is unless the municipal council understands what is the actual rate, wholesale rate, how can they fix the retail price? So there are certain miscommunication which also comes in between, where public also shouts that the rate are too high. But the fact is the stakeholders, the business community are not involved in fixing the price. So what happens is that the gap sometimes becomes disadvantage to the consumers also. So we are saying that under Municipal Act, there has to be a representation of trade bodies or business bodies in all those ULBs across Nagaland.
Okay, so sir, the next thing we want to know is that do you see any outcome by putting up such activities to shut down all the businesses on September 16?
I think we are appealing to the government of Nagaland. And when we are talking about government of Nagaland, they have all the resources, manpower, and all the resources at their hand. So if the government of the day is willing, then I think there is no issue why it cannot be solved. Our point number 2, such as representation in the ULB bodies, I think that's something which is we are not demanding out of box. In the Parliament of India have a reservation for such kind of people like personalities like sports, academics, all those reservation are there in Rajya Sabha, or even in upper house of bicameral legislatures in various states, they have such reservations. So asking that is not too much. I think that's easy for government of Nagaland to resolve that point. Number two, on issue of multiple taxation, I think government has to show the will. It has to clearly state that, okay, we are not in a position to resolve, so the business community can fix your own rate at your own convenience and do your own business. Either they have that option or tell us that, okay, we are going to check the multiple taxation across the state so that the business body gets some respite. I think when the government have all the resources, there's no reason why they cannot.
Okay, so regarding the illegal taxation, which has it was bisi deri jai dekhi for long back illegal taxation there were no actions taken so far. Appeal career government like why is it has it taken such a long time?
See, at least on my part, okay, I was the co-convener of account movement. So for me, it's almost 7-8 years or 9 years down the line I have been fighting for this. I was the founding General Secretary of Business Association of Nagas. And has been a stated position of business community as well as the public that multiple taxation is, at the end of the day, is affecting the family budget, the common man. So this has to be streamlined down the process. And I think this is not something new. But the delayed Naga political solution has also become an issue here. Because the more you delay the Naga political solution, the new factions keeps popping up. 2 years back, we have 7 NNPGs plus the NSN-IM. Today we have again NSN reformation. Then you have NSN Isaac and then Kango. And then today again we have this Mr. NSN faction. So the faction keeps growing. So when the faction keeps growing, multiplying, even the taxation keeps multiplying. So at the end of the day, the government of Nagaland, the government of India has to show a very seriousness and express their seriousness in action by resolving the Naga political issues. That is also one way of looking at things. Meantime, before the solution arrives, I think the state government has to take all the resources at its disposal to, bring down the multiple taxation. This is not a new issue. I have been raising this on various platforms for last 7-8 years.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time. So, apnian ita dikhi paise tai our CNCCI President Dr. Khekugha Muru tai wa sob highlight kudise regarding the total closure of shops, which will happen on 16 September, which is tomorrow. Tahan da se guledo government wa bi appeal kurise that it will host na kuri jabi noile it total closure of statewide closure of shops ito na thaki jabi koina bi appeal kurise olibe they are still standing on their own ground tahan ito rakhiwo koina bi janai dise aro eta illegal taxation khan labi tai ba highlight kurise ito ase ajla khobor mui kele jolte cho mula camera person Khalil reporting for NLTV Dimapur.